What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. Alright, introducing Gloves Up segment. We got Dillian Whyte, Shakur Stevenson, and Devin Haney versus Luke Campbell. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. So Devin Haney versus Luke Campbell could be Matchroom's breakout behind closed doors stage fight. The first one. Well, check it out. Hearn is eyeballing Luke Campbell to fight Devin Haney in the first title defense. Now, I'll tell you something. This is a good look for Devin Haney because he's been catching a whole lot of flack about, defending that title and if he deserve it, he'll paper champ. My man Teofimo called him a 2-time email champ, and he do need a good defense to, legitimize himself as a true champion. I will say this, Luke Campbell is a good look. You know what I mean? Now, Hearn has said, and I'll put this so you guys can see, this is straight from Hearn. He says, ideally, I want to make Devin Haney against Ryan Garcia. Hearn told BoxingScene.com, I think that's a monstrous fight, but that might take a bit longer to be made. So if we can make Haney against Luke Campbell, that's a great fight. And I have to agree with Hearn. But you see, he looking at Ryan Garcia. Haney and Hearn looking at Ryan. Ryan been throwing a whole lot of lip around social media, but Reynoso, I think, slowed him down. Haney ready to call him on his bluff. But as Hearn said, that may take a bit longer to make, and we know why. Ryan Garcia just might not be ready, But Hearn also goes on to say, it's a bit messy. Really, Luke Campbell has been ordered to fight Javier Fortuna for the world title, now the interim world title. But because of the delay, Devin Haney is back and ready to go. I'd rather they fight each other. Luke signed up for it. Devin Haney signed up for it. And it's a fight I will try to make for August or September. So they're looking at August and September to get Luke Campbell and Devin Haney in the ring. Great title defense. I can't wait to see it. Guys, I hope they make that fight happen because, like I said, this is something that Devin Haney is, he needs this to legitimize his title. And, Hearn leaves out to say Luke is fit as a fiddle. He wants to go back in a big fight. Devin Haney will be one of the first guys back on the U.S. side. So it's a perfect match. We'll see what happens with that. Now, Shakur Stevenson is looking to fight a Felix Caraballo. Now, Caraballo, however you say his name, I don't want to butcher the man's name, but this is a Puerto Rican fighter. All of his 16 professional fights happen domestically in Puerto Rico. So, Felix does not have, a lot of experience in the ring. He knows that this is an uphill battle for him. But, again, Bob Arum is trying to showcase his young star, Shakur Stevenson. And, he has a 6-fight card planned from what I understand. And Shakur Stevenson is going to be the main event. So he will headline that card. And, the guy Caraballo, he's really appreciative and thankful for the opportunity because you got to realize something. This guy's coming from Puerto Rico. He's getting a title shot right off the back. So, he's happy. He has no complaints at all. Basically, to me, a title defense, but another showcase fight for Shakur Stevenson. This fight's going to take place at 1:30. It will not be a title fight. But, I guess this is Shakur's moving up. All of these kids are going to move up, and Shakur's right along with him. He's going to be moving up, too. So it's time for him to step up and start doing things. This is going to be his first fight. Like I said, it's a showcase fight. I don't believe, and I don't, from the sounds of Felix Caraballo, he doesn't believe too much that he's, it doesn't sound that he feels like he's going to win this fight, but he just wants Shakur Stevenson to know it's not going to be an easy win. He's coming to fight. They're working real hard, and so he feels himself that it's an uphill battle. Of course, the young Shakur Stevenson is extremely confident and feels like he's going to come out there and put on a show, but hey, let's look to see Shakur coming in, late June, mid-July, and Top Ranks card, 6-fight card. And Bob Arum actually has a couple of cards planned, coming up here. So we just gotta see what goes with these guys. I want to see Shakur back in the ring. I'll just put it to you guys that way. I'm not really too concerned with his opponent because it's not really too many opponents for him right now at the minute that's going to step up and take the fight against Shakur Stevenson. He's a dangerous guy, so Felix Caraballo is what we're going to have to get. I'm not giving Shakur Stevenson any kind of pass, that's for sure, but Bob Arum and, his money troubles, he's already complaining about having to pay the expense for the staffing and rooms and food, and he's mentioning everything about the cost. So that's what we're going to get, but hopefully Shakur does well in this fight. I'm pretty sure he will, and he's impressive, and Bob will get him into a better fight here soon. So Bob Arum is still in the picture. He ain't finished talking yet. Bob Arum done ticked Dillian Whyte off. And, to some levels, man, I gotta be honest. Dillian Whyte has valid points in what he's saying. And then also we know that Dillian Whyte blew some chances in the past. But Bob Arum's back at work, and let's take a look at what Bob Arum's talking about, which ticked Dillian Whyte off so much. So Bob Arum says, we will be talking to the organizations to eliminate mandatories or postpone them for at least 1 year. I'm sick and tired of being forced with my marquee fighters to fight meaningless fights against mandatory that mean nothing. Wow. I won't degenerate Dillian Whyte, but the fact that he's a mandatory means nothing to me. If he fought Fury in the U.S., it would be the same as Otto Wylene. It means nothing. All boxing promoters and all organizations have to work together to get things rolling at the highest level. Then we'll worry about mandatories. And that is what got Dillian Whyte severely ticked off. Because in Dillian Whyte's situation, we got to understand, this man is knocking on 1,000 days as number one contender. He was just named mandatory, and now Bob Arum is trying to take that away. And it gets a little deeper because now that Wilder's injured, that fight, the trilogy, may be delayed a little bit. And what Whyte is saying is, since Wilder can't fight, next man up. I don't care about fighting behind closed doors. I don't care about any of that. They should get Fury to fight me because he's the mandatory. So he has a point there. But Bob Arum was like, no. We had the coronavirus pandemic. All sports were shut down, so things are going to be delayed. It's nobody's fault. Dillian Whyte has, tough situation. But at this time, Bob Arum saying, we don't care about no damn mandatories. We got to get the ball rolling on the highest level because they got to make that money. And Dillian Whyte to him is just not important, or any other mandatory. Wow. So, Dillian Whyte, of course, had a response to all of this. Well, Dillian Whyte responds with, Arum's talking rubbish. If he represented me, he'd be screaming that this is the biggest travesty in boxing history. Nearly 1,000 days as number one without being given a shot, whereas Tyson Fury barely scrapes by the number 31 ranked Otto Wylene in front of 3,500 people. And they got gifted a mandatory position without fighting an eliminator, never mind a final eliminator. Fury won the belt off that pathetic hype job Deontay Wilder, as his legs were too weak to carry him any longer after running away from me for years. And now it looks like the two of them are in a relay. The WBC had originally agreed that the winner of the Wilder Fury 2 had to fight me by May 2020. Now Wilder's injured and Arum's trying to delay my shot further. It's all wrong, and it has nothing to do with COVID-19. Now, I can't actually say that I agree all the way with Dillian Whyte, but you gotta, understand his sentiment. I mean, the guy has been waiting, and if I was in his position, especially with this layoff, I really wouldn't be trying to hear any more delays either. But, that's what's going on, and we know that Bob is pushing for that delay because Bob wants that money, and the biggest fight is Tyson Fury, Joshua. And I could tell you something, I feel bad for Dillian Whyte at some respects, but if that Joshua Fury fight can happen, I'm not trying to hear anything about Dillian Whyte either, and I don't think any of the sports world care about his sentiments or his complaints or anything, not if we could get that 4-belt undisputed. But anyway, guys, this is the first segment of Gloves Up on Speak Your Mind Sports Talk, and we'll be back with a whole lot more. So y'all know how I always end this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.